What's up, everyone? Unfortunately, we learned that we probably won't be playing the Elden Ring DLC for quite some time, but that's okay because there are plenty of Souls-likes still coming in 2023, and some of them look very promising. So obviously, none of them will achieve the level of perfection that From Software can accomplish, but some of them could still scratch that itch. The first game on the list is not a brand new game, but it is brand new DLC because I'm talking about Wolong. The first DLC is going to come out in June 2023, and then there's going to be the second one in September 2023, and the final DLC will be in December 2023. So we can expect new content every couple months, and honestly, I strongly recommend Wolong. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The gameplay is very much like Sekiro, focused on parries and timing, and on top of that, they added some magic into it. Now, there are only two things that I dislike about this game. First of all, the enemy variety is a little bit low, and second of all, the difficulty is a little bit too easy. If you are used to Sekiro and you're used to parrying, you will breeze through the second half of this game very, very easily, because it has a system where if you don't die, you get over leveled by the end of the level, and then you are able to just annihilate the enemies. But it's still a very, very fun experience, and I hope that the DLCs ramp up the difficulty a little bit, and that way it would be a solid 9 out of 10 in my opinion. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's move on to the next game. The next game on the list is Remnant 2, and it is due to release in September 2023. Now, have you ever wondered and asked yourself, why can't I have an AK-47 in Dark Souls? Well, this is the game for you. It's basically Dark Souls with guns. I loved Remnant from the Ashes. Honestly, it was so original and creative. Basically, it's like Diablo, where it's a procedurally generated areas, and you have some Dark Souls element like souls and stamina, but it's with guns, and the gameplay is fantastic. I strongly recommend this one, especially if you're playing with friends. Even the first one is great, and I'm sure they're going to make massive improvements for the second one. The developers have said that this time around, even more aspects of the game will be randomized. Now the story will also be randomized, so each player will have a unique experience to them, and no players will be playing the exact same story. So that looks like it's going to be great. They have been dropping a lot of trailers and gameplay footage in the last few months as they are ramping up for launch, and honestly, I think it looks like it's going to be a promising sequel. Next is Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. And to me, it looks like this game will be like a Souls-like with a little bit more action into it. Kind of like a flashy Souls game with a God of War inspiration. Now in this game, you have weapons like melee weapons, you have guns, you have magic, you also have a companion that is helping you in battle. So it looks like this one will be pretty interesting. Now, we haven't seen much of it. There is this gameplay trailer that is being played in the background. It looks good, it looks flashy, but I guess we'll see when the game comes out. I'm moderately excited about this one. I am looking forward to it. I will pre-order it because I pretty much pre-order every single Souls-like anyways. But yeah, this one looks promising. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn is due to release sometime in 2023. It doesn't have a fixed release date at the moment. Next, we have The Lords of the Fallen. This game is a sequel to Lords of the Fallen. It looks like they completely rebooted the franchise. The first one wasn't that much of a success, even though it was the first game to actually try to imitate the Souls formula. And this time, it looks like they're going to hit it right out of the park. First of all, the game is in Unreal Engine 5. Graphically speaking, it looks fantastic, and even the gameplay looks very, very interesting. Now, Lords of the Fallen had an interesting story. The story wasn't the problem, it was the gameplay. But this looks very, very promising. It is set to release sometime in 2023. It doesn't have a fixed release date yet. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed because I am really looking forward to this one. Last is Lies of P. So this game is inspired by the Pinocchio story. It's in the Victorian era. It has some bloodborne vibes in it, definitely, and it is set to release in 2023. This game has received a lot of trailers so far, a lot of gameplay trailers. We have seen a lot of it, and it looks pretty interesting. Fans have been demanding Bloodborne 2 or a remake or remaster, but it looks like they'll have to deal with this because it looks like it might scratch that itch. It has the same vibe. It looks like the gameplay mechanics might be similar. Definitely they were going for a Bloodborne vibe with this one. In my opinion, it looks like the lore and the story will be delivered more in a straightforward way with cinematics, kind of what we're used from regular video games. Not the From Software route, but that doesn't mean that it won't have its own mystery to it. So it looks pretty good, definitely a game to look forward to. Now, before we wrap up the video, there is an honorable mention that this game might not be a Souls-like, but it's from a Souls-like developer, and I'm talking about Atlas Fallen. Now, they have made the Surge series, which the Surge 2 in my opinion is pretty decent. And Atlas Fallen is a open world action RPG where it's not really focused on small fights, you know, sword and board. It's against massive creatures. So it has a God of War vibe to it. It's not a Souls-like, but it looks pretty good, and it is set to release on August 10th, 2023. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Even though the Elden Ring DLC is still way off, there are plenty of good games coming in the next few months. If you are a fan of Diablo, we have Diablo 4 that's coming out next month. Of course, there's Armored Core on August 25th. And then there's all these Souls-like releasing before 2024. So yeah, 2023 is definitely one of the best years in gaming in the recent history. It's a really good time to be a gamer. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one.